my name is Scher, and welcome to my video on closing the gap for a lead leg kick. I've talked in my 3 circles tutorial, or my judging distance tutorial, about the right distance to be for punching, the right distance to be for lead leg kicking, and the right distance for turning and spinning kicking. Now, if you want to throw a lead leg kick, there's a position where you're just too far away to throw a lead leg kick, too far away for punching, and too close for a turning or spinning kick. So in this position, you're going to either need to close the gap a little bit or open the gap a little bit. Opening the gap, of course, is easier because moving away from your opponent makes them react less.
One of the most common problems people have when sparring is getting close enough to throw their technique. People see you moving forward and they move back. So if you throw your lead hand in a back fist or a punch or what have you, it will distract their attention from what your feet are doing. I recommend using a simple shuffle, moving forward about a foot as you throw that lead hand back fist, and that will bring your body into range for the kick that you want to throw, assuming it's a lead leg kick. The more dramatic that lead hand back fist, the more likely it is to grab the attention of your opponent and distract them while you get into range. One of the common misunderstandings about distance is people think it's where your center is that matters, or where your lead foot is that matters. If you're punching, yes, center and lead foot are important, but when you're kicking, it's the standing foot that matters. Wherever that standing foot is, that will determine your distance. So if your back foot is too far away from your target, no matter how close your front foot moves, no matter how much weight you put on whichever leg, you're never going to be able to kick with that lead leg. Until you find a way to get your back foot closer, you're never going to be able to kick your opponent effectively. No matter how far away your kicking leg is, if your standing leg is in range, then you'll be able to kick effectively. This next technique I actually learned from Bill Superfoot Wallace at a seminar that he taught not long ago. A way to mask your distance is by jumping your legs open and closed. It looks like you're just randomly doing extemporaneous movement to keep light on your feet, but really you're bringing your back leg closer to your opponent, even as you're tricking him by moving your front leg further from your opponent. So you jump your legs open and closed a couple of times, and then when they're closed, you throw the kick, because at that point your back foot is closer to your opponent than it was before, and that's your standing foot. This next one is a very useful technique, very subtle, doesn't cover a lot of distance, but if you're too close for a turning kick, and you want to do that lead leg kick but you're too far away, you can slide forward. You either just kind of slide forward by pushing on the balls of your feet so your body is propelled forward, just so you move forward before you throw the attack, or you can pick your leg up and slide forward at the same time. So you can pick your leg up, slide forward, and do a side kick, a front kick, a round kick. You can even do a slide jam. So they pick up their leg to kick, and you can slide forward, pick your knee up, and jam them with your leg. A sliding kick can be very useful if you're just too far away or they keep moving just out of range. The next technique I want to talk about is called shuffling. You kind of stealthily shuffle your feet across the floor until you're in range or close enough to your opponent to kick. Now, because the movement is generally so small and subtle, they sometimes won't notice you closing that gap or getting closer. You can also use it as a jamming technique. So as soon as you see them starting to pick up their foot to kick, just like the slide, you can shuffle your feet forward quickly and jam the kick. That can be dangerous if they see you moving in and get the kick out faster than you can move in closer. I've talked about the pivot as a way to get more power in your kick, but it also gives you more range of motion. It lets you get in closer. Every time you shoot your heel forward, you're moving your center or your standing leg closer. And if you unpivot with your toes, then you're actually moving closer. So the pivot by itself, when you throw the kick, will move you 1 foot closer to your opponent because you're shuffling your heel forward that 1 foot. So the kick without the pivot, and then the kick with the pivot. See how your whole body moves forward? Now you can get sneaky here. You can throw the kick from too far away, and it looks like you're not moving any closer. You're just unpivoting your foot. And then for your second kick, you pivot again, and that moves you 2 feet forward. So your first foot is a fake, closing the gap. Your second one is an attack, and they still think you're out of range because unpivoted you would be. One of my favorite ways to avoid an attack is to do what's called a step away, step in. You move your front leg together with your back leg, then you've avoided technique by just enough, and then you can move back into the same position you were. So you avoid the technique, you go around it without having to lose ground. Now you can use this to your advantage. You can either do a step away, step in, stepping further back to move away, or a step not quite as far as your back leg, and then move closer. So if you're already out of range and you respond to their attack or kick that's too far away with a step away, step in, you can close the gap that way.
Thank you so much for watching my video on closing that last foot of gap for a lead leg kick. Please don't forget to share, comment, like, and subscribe, and check out the other videos on my YouTube channel.